Hi guys, and welcome back to class. Today we're going to start off with looking at this little quote. The quote says, "Little white lie." I want you to choose an adjective and a color that describes lies that are told to get someone to fall in love with you. What would be an adjective and a color that describes a lie that are told to get someone to fall in love with you? This is one that's similar. What does your phrase imply about the kinds of lies people tell to get someone to love them? A little white lie is usually accepted as a fair and justified lie, since it is in service of protecting someone's feelings, and the lie doesn't hurt the other person. It is little because it does not matter very much, and it is white because it is innocent or aimed at protecting someone's feelings. Our essential question for today is, what is love? Focusing question, what makes love complicated? And our content framing question in our distill stage says, what are the central ideas of Epicat? Now let's start examining connections among the texts. Based on these lies, what does the narrator think about love? So remember, you were supposed to annotate for lies told by the narrator yesterday from your homework. Based on the lies that you found, what does the narrator think about love? Has anything about your interpretation changed since your first reading? What does the narrator's stated purpose leave out? How does the narrator's involvement in the events of Epicat compare to Robin Goodfellow's involvement in A Midsummer Night's Dream? So how is the narrator inside of Epicat similar or different to Robin Goodfellow in A Midsummer Night's Dream? In what ways have the actions of the narrator in Epicat shown you something new about the idea that love is complicated? So let's look at these two words. Make this T-chart inside of your journals. We have agency, which is a noun, and fate, which is also a noun. Agency is the ability of a person to act or make choices in a given situation. And fate is predetermined and inevitable destiny. Let's look at these two sets of sentences. Then fate o'errules that one man holding troth, a million fail confounding oath on oath. And noun meaning premeditated and inevitable destiny. Let's look at the central ideas. How does the narrator's definition of fate align with this quote from A Midsummer Night's Dream? And why does the narrator's definition of fate stump Epicat? Does Pat really love the narrator? How does Pat's decision to marry the narrator connect to the ideas of fate and agency? Do you agree with the narrator that the outcome of love and the love triangle is a result of fate? Why or why not? Let's compare the events of the play and the events of the short story. I want you to write a paragraph in response to the following question. How does Pat's situation do something new with the patterns of events and ideas from Helena and Hermia's situations? Remember that in A Midsummer Night's Dream, Helena and Hermia are not under the spell of the love potion, though the men they love are. So I want you to consider the way that the love potion makes love more complicated for these female characters as you respond to the following question. And once again, the question is, how does Pat's situation do something new with the patterns of events and ideas from Helena and Hermia's situation? To end this lesson, In the distill stage, in our content framing question, what are the central ideas of Epichat? Then write an exit ticket to the following question. Do you agree with the narrator that the outcome of the love triangle is a result of fate? Why or why not? Now on to our homework. For tonight, you guys need to review your notes and annotations so that you can prepare for the Socratic seminar and the following lesson, and also continue to practice for the reader's theater. Let's look at the subjunctive verb mood. We've talked about this before. There's going to be handout 23B, that says subjunctive verb mood, and I want you to look at the quote. If he were given a problem to which there was no answer, he would destroy himself trying to solve it. In example sentences 1 and 3 from the handout, what verb mood is used in the independent clause? Remember, the conditional verb mood is used when the subjunctive verb mood appears in a dependent clause, and it's usually starting with if. However, in other examples where the subjective occurs with that, the conditional verb mood isn't necessary. Now I want you to look at sentence 2. The verb in the subjunctive mood is play. Usually we would say he plays, but because the sentence expresses a suggestion, not an actual action, the verb is in the subjunctive verb mood, which is past plural form. The last example sentence, here the verb had appears in the dependent clause to signal the subjective or the subjunctive verb mood. It's still an imaginary situation, but the imagined event would have happened in the past. When we are trying to discuss an imaginary situation that already happened, we use the verb had. For example, if I had been the president, I would have signed the bill. Well, had means that it happened in the past, and it's an imaginary situation because we're not the president, you're not the president. So this is the subjunctive verb mood. This is a graphic organizer for you guys to remember some of the talks or notes that we just discussed. Please record in your journals. The playwright suggests that the actor play the part seriously. If Demetrius had known Hermia's plan, he could have stopped her from leaving. This is contrary to fact in its past tense. Which verb mood is being used here? What might the narrator wish for Pat or wish Pat may say or do in the first half of the story? I wish that. To check for your understanding today, I want you guys to complete this exit ticket. Use the subjunctive verb mood to explain fate. Write 3 or 4 sentences using the subjunctive mood at least once to explain the idea of fate in Epichat. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's lesson. If you guys need any help, once again, office hours are Monday through Friday, 11:22 to 12:06 p.m. I'll see you soon. Bye.